Phyllis Bomberry pioneered her own revolutionary road to unparalleled excellence in Canadian softball. A Cayuga woman of the Wolf Clan, Phyllis was born in 1942 on the Six Nations of the Grand River First Nations Reserve in Ontario. Emerging as a star athlete in the 1950s, she defied limiting post-war gender roles and a pervasive sexist assumption that team sports were an inherently masculine domain. As an Indigenous girl growing up in the residential school era, Phyllis faced additional magnitudes of racial discrimination that might have deterred a less committed athlete. Softball quickly became Phyllis's chosen sport when she began catching pitches for her father and brother at the age of 7. Playing women's intermediate softball with the Oswegan Mohawks, Phyllis helped the team win back-to-back provincial intermediate B championships in 1960 and 1961. After moving to Toronto to complete high school, she was quickly recruited to play catcher for the Carpetland Senior A team in the Ontario Senior Women's League. Phyllis often encountered open hostility as the only Indigenous woman playing on the team. She drew strength from the deep attachment she held to her community and her family, who often drove to Toronto to see her play. Helping the Carpetland team win Canadian softball championships in 1967 and 1968, Phyllis was named top batter, all-star catcher, and MVP in 1967, and all-star catcher again in 1968. In 1968, Phyllis became the first female recipient of the Tom Longboat Award. Her winning ways continued with a gold medal in the first Canada Summer Games in 1969, where she was once again named Canadian All-Star Catcher and MVP. After retirement, she returned to the home she always held in her heart at the Six Nations of the Grand River First Nations Reserve. Phyllis became an inspiration to young people and a respected craftsperson known for beautiful bead and leather work. Since she passed away in 2019, Phyllis Bomberry's story of resilience, grace, and grit is finally reclaiming the space it deserves in the history of Canadian sport.